And away we go. I agree, Robin. Good old Jackie. Jackie Gleason. And away we go. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are awaiting April CPI. Not looking for a good number. Let me see how I can describe that again. We're not looking for a number that is going to be, like, I guess, I don't know. I guess it, I don't know, good or bad at this point. I don't have an opinion. I just know that they're going to be looking at some of the internals. And, oh, here it is. It's out. $4.9 year over year. Okay, so it's 4.9 was 5 anticipated. So that is I guess a good number. Fundamentals are so weird anymore. But in the end result is that I don't see it doing too much for us. Maybe a little more strength today. We got PPI tomorrow. And, the market is only, the Dow is up like 65, 70 points at best. They're going to have to do a lot more work to get this thing, I guess, rolling along. Maybe bring in some buyers. It's April year-over-year CPI, 4.9 versus 5.0 estimated. So 1/10. Yay. How else can we describe it? But yay. Hurrah. So we'll see. I didn't expect to see a 400-point jump in a few minutes. So, and the markets are kind of sideways. They're kind of lost. Supposedly the White House and the House of Representatives and the Senate are going to talk again on Friday. Dow is up 91 points now, so they are putting a little bit more charge into it. Okay. The core, okay. April core is still the same. So it's all basically in line. So when I said I wasn't expecting a good or a bad number, I just expected a number. That's where my head really was. And I guess that's what it is now. Dow was up 92, it's up 88. So we're seeing that action, that's going on there. You can see. Let's go over. You can. Oh yes, you can see the. I have the stocks up on there. There you go. So you can see the stock market has moved up with this on the short-term intraday. And it went into the buy right there, 3 bars back off of this big bar. It went into the buy, and still, pushing up a little bit more. So I guess what we'll see now is see how the rest of the market treats this over the next couple hours. Inflation now is the lowest it's been since they realized we had inflation. I love the way they phrase things. In other words, when they used to call it transitory and that it was going to go away, they were right. It's only going to take a couple years for it to do it. That's all, instead of like 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months. Someone was playing a list of the Janet Yellen and Mr. Powell and Mr. Biden, where they all kept on saying it's transitory. Don't worry about it. It means nothing. And I'm sure everybody on the planet is enjoying that transitory. I'm sure that you're happy that things are coming back down, and but we're still paying higher than what we paid for before. So that's what it is. All right, let's take a look at the dollar index, and we're going to put the dollar index also up on Chicago Quant. Let's see, where are you? There it is, right there. And it's still holding firm, which is a little surprising. Because when the dollar goes up, that usually means that the interest rates are rising. I guess we could take a look at let's take a quick look at the bond, too, the 30-year bond, and see what they're thinking about there. Right there, there's the 30-year bond. Now, it is rising. When the price rises, the rates drop. So we're really tangled in a situation where they're not sure if they're coming or if they're going. And so to me, I imagine the second real, PPI will be important tomorrow, but more than that is that we probably have 2 weeks more of this debt ceiling thing to go on. That's how it usually plays out. Usually they resolve it somewhere around 2 or 3 days before it actually needs to be resolved. So I'm not looking for them coming out like last night. I didn't expect to see them come out and say, "Oh yeah, well things are working really well." No, they've just made it clear where they stand and trying to figure out what they can do. That's pretty much it. The two parties, the House of Representatives, the Senate seems to be out of it. They don't have enough votes to do anything in the Senate. The Democrats can't do anything. The Republicans can't do anything. So that's kind of stuck. The House of Representatives passed a bill, and the president is fighting that, and his party can't put a bill together that will pass. So that's what the problem is. All right. So from there, let's jump over to, I guess we'll go over to the euro. There it is, right there. There's the euro, and at the same time, we'll put it up over on Chicago Quant. Not there, right there. And there it is right there, the euro. It is lifting up, so that's good. It's making some sense. It's following the interest rates. And that is really where we're at the moment, is that the products are trying to follow the interest rates. They're trying to go with the fundamentals. And you can see there on J4X, a couple of days of red, and we are saying we're 3 days in a sell now. And the weekly is holding its own. It's just on the edge of rolling over, but not yet. So, I really think that the natural attitude, or where people are, or let's say the fund managers are here in the States, and is that they think that interest rates are going to come down. There's even some that are pricing in July rate cuts. I don't believe we're going to see a July rate cut. Something really ugly would have to happen for that to occur. But at this point, I do expect to see month over month, food costs were up 7%. From April of 22 to April of 23, they were up 21.4%. So, this transitory thing is not working too well. Inflation in America overall up 11% since last April. Airline fares have come down, so people can travel. Not 1 percent point, actually 0.9, almost 1 percentage point. Let's see, regular gasoline of April of 23 is down 12.4% from April of 22, but unfortunately it's up 100% from 2001, so 2021. So they're putting out the numbers now. They're really putting it all out there. Inflation in America, health insurance down from last year to this year, but overall it's up about 40% still. So that's where we're at. It's going to bounce around like that. All right, now from there, let's see, where are we at from there? I just want to check something there. 28. Okay, I'm just going to close this. I have the laptop plugged in doing something. There we are. All right. So there's the euro. You can see the euro is doing its best to kind of just, try to turn again. Cable, which is interesting, has been, very good at that. Let's see, where's it at? Right. It's here somewhere. Right there. There it is. And you can see cable has been, just lifting up. You can see the yellow slow at 81, and you can see the fast at 80. It's battling its way up, trying to keep on climbing, and so far it's just a little bit underneath. Let's put it up on Chicago Quant. Right there. You see it's holding on, and it's at a high here too. It's taking out 2 days ago's high. And the daily is really battling to hold on to the upside here. And the weekly is not even paying attention to it. It's saying, we're going up, don't worry. And that's pretty much the chart. That's what it's trying to tell us. I am curious now. I'm going to go over to GBP AUD. See what that's up to. GBPAUD right there. Wrong win. Pretty much unchanged, but made a new high today. The weekly is still holding up, and the daily is trying to bounce. So we figure it has another day or two of this, and then it may start to shoot back up towards the 190 area. So it was a wrong win. We went into a buy here, and it fell apart. Let me just put the lines in there too while we're speaking about it. So there's the sell there. Oh no, yeah. We don't really pay attention to the dots when we're looking at this, but that's all right. We'll put it there anyway. So there's the sell, and you can see it. Went into a buy here, pretty much unched from the sell, and it gave you more of a hassle. But you weren't taking the short solely because you were in a weekly buy, so you're standing to the side. It's a flat signal. Then we went into a buy thinking, okay, we're going to take off again. That's the win. It did not. It did the opposite. It fell down. So we're waiting for the next signal, which will more than likely be, something to make money on. Benny! Hey, Doc! Hey, Benny! And the Jets. Dent. Ozzy, it's time for the when. Yes, I know. Another day. We're waiting for it. Because that was a wrong when. I was wrong. So the math was wrong. So at this point, we're just sitting here. The weekly seems very comfortable to be in a buy, as much as both lines are below the manifold, but they're still both in the plus. So we're seeing what that is going to do next. And you see they made a new high today. That's what we thought. We thought we'd see that bouncy type thing. Matter of fact, where it put it into the buy. Let's see, where did it put it in the buy? Put it into the buy on the close of, what is that, 187.24. And today's high is 187.19. So it was just 5 ticks off. That's why we said if you have wherewithal, go for it. What else can we say about that? Maybe tomorrow, but it still looks like it's still chugging along. We're just waiting for the win again. And it was a wrong win last time. All right. From there when the line gets through the zero line again right here. This has to get through the zero line right there. So since it's in a weekly buy right here for this whole period, you can't take the short. You can only look to trade the long side. All right. From there, we go over to Swiss. And there's a Swiss moving back down again, which is nice. It just shows that there's some good continuity going on there. It just shows that the Swiss government did what was right. Not bailing out the bank per se, just propping it up so private enterprise can buy it out. And then let's put that up on. You know what? I want to see what GBP AUD looks like too on this. GBP AUD right there. It's got that red going on still. The green is at 11, almost 12, and the yellow is at almost 17. So it's still telling us not yet. Not yet. Soon. All right, now we'll go over to the Swiss. There it is. You see, now that's still in the green, but it'll start to roll over. The yellow is at 43 and the green is at 44 still. A little strength still in there. But over here we have the, is that right? Yeah, that's right. And so over here we have it moving into the sell already. So J4X will move in there in a few hours. You can see the histograms underneath the zero, the lines underneath the zero. The bar is down. We're in a weekly sell, so it's getting ready to tell you again to be short. Let's put that line in there. And And so we're getting very close to being in a daily sell here with today. I mean, we are already there. We just want to see it close there, and then we'll know that it's in a sell. All right. From there, I'm just going to go with a save here too, like that. From there, we go over to the yen. And there's the yen. Nice. Gaining against the dollar this morning. Always nice to see that. Cut down some of that inflation. Let's put it in here. There it is right there. Trying to break down also here. You see the yellow line is at 39 and the green is at 48. So it's lifting through. It's definitely rallying. And that's probably going to roll over and match up to our math right there soon. Just a matter of time. It'll probably bounce around and find a way to turn down again to join in with us. And that is the yen as we march along here looking at the different products. Now from the yen, remember traders, if anybody wants to see anything, just like, Benny was into his GB or her, it would be a guy, I guess, GBP, AUD, we jump over to them and we look at them. We have no problem switching gears around here. Very glad to explore. We're real big on exploring. From there, we'll go over to the Turkish lira. And there it is right there, Euro Turkish lira. It's trying to roll over. It's red a second day in a row. You can see that the yellow is at 37. That's the slow. The fast is at 31, 32, so it's still breaking down. Let's take a look at it over here. You see, now this is trying to turn up, but still in a sell for the last this is the fourth day, but in a weekly buy for months. Let's see if we can contract that. Since mid-March. So, the pressure has been on the upside. We saw a wild one yesterday again where they throw it to a new all-time high. The Turkish lira is not really, gaining any strength. It just kind of slides around doing nothing. His indeed. Okay, cool. His what? His Royal Highness? Who? His. Oh, you mean you're a male? Yes, I know. I was just thinking for a second, and then I thought, no. Would a woman have the nickname Benny? Maybe, but I doubt it. Maybe. Benny and the Jets. So, what else we got going on there? That's about it when it comes to the Turkish lira. And, it's just going to hang out there at all-time highs, and, it goes into its little ins and outs. But we're not really seeing any... Yes, okay. Just trying to be encompassing. Yes, indeed. Just being encompassing, nothing more. Sometimes the nickname, you're not sure what it is, but I had 99% confidence that Benny was a guy. Once I said, or girl, and then I realized, no, it's not going to be a girl. Woman's not going to put Benny up there. Let's see, what else we got going on the euro? I guess that's about it. So from the euro, we'll go over to King Peso, the pillar of the brick. Whoa, look at that sucker going down again today, gaining against the dollar. Yeah, the Mexican peso is the powerhouse of the brick index. Let's find it on here. There we are. It's been marching down. And, it's going to... Oh, what do we got here? We got Peter. Peter says, could we take a look at CAD dollar if there's time? Oh, there's always time. Let's go over to CAD dollar. I don't need to look at King Peso. The peso is the powerhouse of the bricks, and that's why we look at it. There it is right there. There's it's been heading down against the dollar. It's gaining against the dollar when it goes down. That's what that's doing. It tried to get into the buy, but hasn't gotten there yet. You can see we're in a weekly sell, all the way back here in late March, and the product went into the sell in the 136 area. We went down to like 133ish and change, and then back up to 36, and now we're heading back down to the 33s. Let's take a look at what we do is normally we look at oil. So in other words, when the Canadian dollar is going down against the dollar, in other words, it's gaining against the dollar going down. Usually we go over and we look at the crude oil, because the crude oil, they kind of march together, the crude and the Canadian. Kind of 70-75% of the time they have a habit of marching together. And you can see here, it's been strong for 5 days here now, going on, was it 5 days there, off of that nice low. And when we go and look at the Canadian, again, you can see, this topping out at the same time. There is 4 days, there's 5 right there. So it went into the sell, and the pressure has been on it, and it looks like it's trying to make another lower low. And I understand that there's some problems about the oil reserve, and they can't load it for the moment or something like that, so they're not trying to step up and buy it. So buying is going on. It's just not filling. They're not, the U.S. government's not necessarily buying it at the moment. Supposedly too, but I guess they were trying to keep the CPI down more or something like that. And that's pretty much the Canadian, and it's looking pretty good. It's, like I said, it's been in a weekly sell since the end of March, and so it was in the 38, 37 area. By the end of that week, it settled officially in the weekly sell, and so then from there, we've gone lower, then we went back to that area again, and now we are lower again. So I think there's pressure on it because of the oil, and probably some pressure because of interest rates are probably going to try to move down here in the States. If they're going up, then it's going to drive the dollar ahead of the Canadian dollar. But right now, I think that's what that's really doing there. Now, the last of the currencies that we look at against the commodities, the South African Rand. You see the Rand is running up like that. That's usually a sign that gold is going down. So let's take a look at gold, and we'll put it up on J4X too. Right there. And as you can see there, it's pressing up. What do we have here? We have gold trying to go higher, but this is what it's saying there. It's at 56, and at the same time we're looking at let's put it over here, and it's firmer also, acting firm. You can see that there. It's going to close in the buy if it stays here. It's up about $14. Yesterday it settled at 42. It's trading at 53, so it's about $11 or $12 higher. And normally the South African Rand would be heading south, but they have some real political problems down there right now, so that's really messing up the pairs trade. Oop. What am I doing here? Got to move this over like that. That's what it is. And so, is that it right there? No, that's gold. Oh, I see what I did. I went to the wrong place. There it is right there. And so there's South African Rand. You can see it's made a new high, which means it's losing against the dollar, which normally this would look the opposite. It would be down. Now we think that because of the price of gold, South African Rand, before all that political turmoil over the last 6 months down in South Africa, should be in the 14s, low 14s at this point, if not even the high 13s. But instead, they're having real issues down there politically with the president and so forth, and they don't seem to be able to resolve it. And so you can see here, these last 2 days, this thing has been jumping up, and that is usually a sign of weak gold. But we can't really trust the South African Rand anymore since the politics and $500,000 in cash found and like that with the president and so forth and so on, and him refusing not to resign. And so from this point on, where it was at 117, we've seen gold go from what was that? That was December, right? So we've seen gold. Let's see what we can do here, like that. So December gold was in the $17, $18 area. Now it's trading at the 20 and a half, basically. So it went up $400, and normally the South African Rand would just go slamming down. It would be around 13 or 14. Instead, the politics has got it all tangled, so we have to just grin and bear until it cleans itself out. And so it's not a real good tool anymore. For a couple of years here, anytime you saw weakness in the afternoon or in the morning, you knew you could buy on it. It was great. In other words, if the South African rand was heading stronger against the dollar, heading down, and gold was down at the same time, you could buy it. By the end of the day, it was a plus. I mean, it was like clockwork for a couple of years. But ever since this political crash right here, it's really messed everything up. So, alrighty, that's the currencies. Now, was it Peter? If you choose to see another one, just shout it out. We'll go look at it, all right? No problem. I'll go sip my tea. Oh, and let's put the stock market up there for real quick because it's up about 150 now, I think it is. Where's that? Yeah, about 160. So it's grinding its way up, which is pretty cool. I have a small bull position, not bear position. So good. It's making do re mi. Excelente. Yes. Keep on climbing. So from there, if there's no other currency questions, what we will do is we will drift over to, let's see, what do? We go to, usually from South African Rand, we go to gold, and then we take a look at the silver. So we'll do that. Let's check out gold again. Right there. You can see it's trying to, it's going to, if it stays here, it's closing in a daily buy with a weekly buy. Means there's going to be more buyers and sellers. Now that's kind of curious in its own right. Since interest rates are dropping, it makes a little sense. When interest rates drop, usually gold goes up. So that makes some sense. Let's see what the silver's doing. There's silver doing the same thing, showing the strength. It's only been a couple of days in the sell, but both are in weekly buys, so it's not the biggest surprise. Could we look at the Euro GBP? Sure. It's in a daily sell for the last couple of days. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. And you see it's been in a sell since right here, I guess it is. I think that's where it was, the 4th. And we've been in a weekly sell for 3 weeks since back in here. And 9, let's widen this out a little bit for you. So it's been in the sell basically right. Let's see, where's the zero line? There's the zero line. Okay, so went into the sell here at, what is that? That's 1.8, oh no, it's 88. 88.24. And we're at 86.70 now. So it's been finding a way to go down. It went into a daily buy for a couple of these and then jumped into the daily sell again right there. And that was a short again. So that's the when, as Benny says. And that was the short right there because we were in a weekly sell and a daily sell. So when it did that pop here, we weren't buying it because we're in a weekly sell. And so that's the Euro GBP. What else can we say? Kind of interesting. We've watched this product, for a long while now, for 20 years or something like that. It's good pairs trade, especially since they've created the euro. That would made it great. Instead of trying to trade the Deutschmark against the British pound, now you're trading the euro, which is even more diverse. So let's see what else we got going on there. I guess that's about it. It's in a sell for 3 weeks. And off of the 88 and change area, and we'll see what they do with that. It seems like they're just taking it down slow and steady. There's no real pressure there, Indeed. So from there, where do we go from there? I guess we go over to, let's see. We did silver. So let's check out, let me think. Let's check out copper. I think it was flirting with the sell today. Yeah, it is. It's flirting with the sell. Been a daily buy for a few days. Still in that weekly sell. That's the when, trying to tell it if it closes here, maybe they're going to back it off a little bit more again, bring it down to these 80 area. It doesn't seem to have a lot of push in it at the moment, but we'll see. If it closes there in a sell and see if it turns back up. It's been kind of wishy-washy. it when you look at and let's put it up over in J4X, you can see the longer distance view of it. What we're not really seeing a lot of interest in it as much as we have. You can see it's been in one slow, long grind down since it hit the all-time highs was like 5 and change a bunch of months back. I'll show that to you. There it is right there. So it's almost like a big A. This is a B. Maybe they're going to bring it down into this 360, 370 area, being in that weekly sell. We'll see. Every sell, every time we go into a daily sell, I think it may roll over. That's usually my tendency to think it will do that, All right. Now, let's go over to platinum. Right there. And platinum's still marching up. 3 days in a buy. And in a weekly buy, looking good. The fast is, what's the fast on? It's fast is underneath at the moment. Wonder if that'll turn up with this strength here. We're threatening the 1150 area again, which is interesting. Usually we trust the general trend of the platinum. When the platinum wants to go up, usually the rest of the metals find ways to go up. So that's that's what we're thinking about now. That's what we're thunking about. Alrighty. From there, where do we go from there? I guess that completes the metals complex. If anybody wants to look at any of those things again, just shout it out. We'll go back to it. And then from here, we're going to go over to the energy sector. And there is the oil contract, the spot, just literally flatlining up there. The weekly is still in a weekly sell since the 78, 79 area. And, it's kind of went down to 63, and now it's bounced back up in the last couple of days, up pretty strong. But it seems to be just parked there at this point. And let's put that up over it. We're going to put Brent up on J4X. And there's Brent. Trying to do the same thing, trying to bounce up. We're threatening the 78 area, I guess you could say. We're 77, low 77s at the moment. We'll see. You can see the green line underneath, 84, and the slow line, the yellow line above it at 64. So there's definite pressure on the product itself on the upside. They're definitely buying it. But, it seems to have stalled out there. And I don't have a lot of conviction. I think that they're just going sideways at this point. Bouncing between the mid 60s to the low 80s, and then back and forth and back and forth. All right. From there, we go over to natural. We'll take a look. Let's look at the back month. So this is June. Here, let's look at September, which is usually trading around 72 and 85, 80, something like that. 89. Okay, cool. So it's trading about 60 cents underneath. It was it was like $1.50 at one point. Now it's really tightened up. Demand is definitely moving into the back months again. For a while, it was premium. For a couple months, we had premium in the back months over the front month. But obviously right now, they want to take delivery. So there's putting more pressure on the product. You can see they're both in weekly sells. The pressure's on it. So not much more to be said about that. Then we go over to Nat Gas right there. That's the June contract. And let's put Nat Gas up on this. June. Nat Gas. Right there. Trading at $2.20 basically. 22 cents per cubic foot. And then when we go over to Europe and we take a look at what they're doing for the same product, you can see right here, where is it at? We follow a energy company out of Spain, which gives us a good insight of what the cubic foot costs are in Europe. So we are paying $2.20. They're paying $28.50. That's a 13 times multiple. That's incredible. What a great arbitrage that is. That pressure is not going away, it seems like, whatsoever, which is really confusing me. You would think by now they would, supply and demand. That's what happens when you have these command control economies, and the politicians think that they know better. They know better, and that the population pays for their better knowledge. So they're paying $28 a cubic foot when the Americans are paying $2.20 a cubic foot because they know better. So we just sit back and watch that until, I guess it'll be the all clear will come one day. We'll see an all clear come, and it'll go back to normal where it was barely like 50-cent difference, not $26 difference. Alrighty. From there, that completes the energy side of our adventure. Unless someone wants to see something, just again, shout it out if you care to see it. And what we're going to do now is we'll go over and look at the stock market. Also, Bitcoin is, it gapped down, and it just, it's been beat up for the last couple of days, but we're still in a daily buy, and I think we're still in the weekly buy. So let's go find that. It's up like $700 today. There we are. You see, it's been in a daily buy since here, and we're in a weekly buy, and it's telling us, don't get short. It's telling us to stay long. So we'll see what they do here, if they can get it back up into those areas. Something about an administrative thing at one of these exchanges, and so it's got nothing to do with Bitcoin per se or Ethereum. It's more of the exchange itself, not the crypto side of the exchange, but literally a third party holding it. It's always those goofiness, the weasels get in there and they screw things up. So we'll see when this thing comes back up to the 29 or 30 area, which could be literally in 2 days. And you can see that strength is there. It doesn't want to let go on a weekly. So this is definitely an accumulation opportunity. All right. And then from there, we go over to the stock indices, which follow suit. And you can see right there, it was trying to push into a sell, not anymore. It's still in that buy. This is the fourth day, and it's taking out the highs here. And I guess we're watching to see when it busts through the 20 area, 42 even or something like that, 4,200 area. And some traders have been saying that if it can build a base in the $4,250 area, that could be signs of new buying. So I would imagine they're going to go do something like challenge the 20s or the 30s at least, and scare the shorts a little bit more. From there, we go over to the S&P. That's the S&P 500. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ 100. Same situation, been in a buy for 4 days, and it's lifting up again, and it's in that weekly buy, refusing to go into the sell. So that strength is there in the tech side also, which means they're not that scared of the interest rates at the moment. And you can see this flatness. They come up and bang it, bang it, bang it, bang it. Sooner or later, it busts through. This could be the one that does that. We could probably see 1,400 on this product. See, when's the last time we've seen 1,400? Not in a long time. Back in August of last year. So wouldn't surprise me if they found a way to get up to the 1,400 area. Now, from there, we'll go over to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is right here. And it's doing the same thing in a buy for the last 4 days, and a weekly buy, not giving it up. They keep on showing strength, not weakness. And what else can we say about any of that? I guess that's about it there. Now, we go over to one other stock indice, but the fact that we're seeing the strength in Bitcoin and so forth gives me confidence that this could be some good buying going on over the next couple of days. Again, we have PPI tomorrow. We're not going to get any resolution with the government and the debt ceiling for at least another 2 weeks, so nothing really to worry about there in the sense of, it's not going to be resolved tomorrow or anything like that. Okay, let's take a look at the Russell 2000, the most speculative of our four indices, right there. Look at that spike there. It's really starting to get going again. Trying to get into the 18. It's the second day in a buy. We are climbing back into the weekly buy again. You can see right there. So there's some strength going on in the Russell. That's a very speculative indice. So when we see buyers coming into that, that means that they're bottom fishing. You know, they're saying, okay, we're going to try to pick up some of this. You know, they're going to try to, you know, nibble. Now, this index was trading at like 2,200 or something like that, you know, 6 or 7 months ago. Let's put it up on J4X. There we are. Let's see, it's filling in now. There we go. And we go over here. You know, last time we were, let's see, that is January of this year. We were up at the 2000 area. So it wouldn't surprise me if we got up into the high 18s, low 19s. At least get up into that. Take out these highs here of 1821. And last year got up to, you know, that area again. That was what? That was September, right there. Is that September? August. Same thing with the other indexes. So as long as they keep on trying to nibble at this, it tells us that speculators are coming into the market. That means that they're going to try to squeeze out the shorts. And with interest rates getting ready to go back down again, or at least not rise anymore, it sure does make it tough to be a short. That's for sure. All right. From there, let's see, that completes the stock indices. Usually by now we're like running out of time, but we've got another 10 or 12 minutes we can still talk. So anybody have anything out there they would like to take a look at? Give you a few seconds. I'll have a sip of my tea. There we are. Let me think, where do I want to go from here? Yeah, we really blew through that one. Let's see what the GBP AUD is doing. Right there. Ooh, look at it. They're punching it down now. Jeez, it took out the high and then it looked like it was flat. Now they're giving it a smack again. Not yet. It's not yet there. There it is. You can see that. They're pushing it down again. This is probably gonna vacillate back and forth for a little while over the next couple of days. And then, like I said 2 days ago, more than likely we're going to see it, you know, probably like maybe Thursday or Friday finally dig its heels in and probably try to turn up. Unless we get into the weekly sell. It's very close right now. But I kind of thought they would try to support this area here, so we'll see. All right. From there, where do we go from there? So let's put that sell line in there too. Let's go from there. Let's see, any other currencies we haven't looked at lately, just for the fun of it. How about, is the Aussie dollar working? Yeah, there you are. There's the Aussie dollar. Something happened to that for a while. Wasn't loading for a while. Now it's back in the saddle again. That's been moving up. And the weekly's missing data altogether. We'll have to work on that. Something happened with the feed on that. I'm not sure what was the problem there. And then we have, you know, we do watch NASCAD. And you can see here it's trying to get into a buy today after a couple of days in a sell. And the weekly's trying to join in too. So that makes New Zealand the strong suit there. So when it's rising, New Zealand is gaining and the CAD is going down. Let's see, what other currencies do we have floating around in here that we don't look at anymore? CAD Swiss. There it is. There's CAD Swiss. Playing with a sell there. Interesting. That means that the CAD is being sold off. In other words, it's gaining value against the Swiss a little bit there. I like that. It's been in a weekly sell for a while. Since back in here in the 869 area. Back in, I guess, the beginning of May. Let's see, who else is in there that we haven't looked at lately? Here's one we haven't looked at, which I think is one of the most, one of the strongest currencies in Europe. And that is the zloty against the euro. Right there. And the zloty is moving down the 4 and change. It's a really tight market. Bounces between the 470s and the 460s. Boy, wouldn't many countries beg to have a good, strong currency like that. It's been in a weekly sell since back in here, since the 475 area. And it's only trading down at the 450. Is that 451? So this thing is a real stable currency. That's why we were following it. We find it to be an extremely stable currency. It says a lot about Poland. I understand they're now the second largest industrial nation on the continent. They really have been doing it right. They're really practicing, capitalism as best as they can. And let's see who else is in here. I don't even think we get data on the rub. What is that? That is, that hasn't updated since March. That died in March. They've stopped trading it altogether, it seems like. And who else out there? Dollar Turkish lira. Stuck in that 19.5 area. All right. Let's go check out the stock indices again, since no one's asking about anything. All right. So they got up to 70, 72, 73. It got up to 73. Cool. Very cool. And we'll see what they do with the, in 12 minutes, the U.S. market opens up. That's going to be interesting. See how they jack that up. And you see there, we've been in a buy from this point right there to close it up bar. And it's gone from 50 to 73. The shorter term one we went into a buy in the 40 area and has gone from 40 to 73. And now we're trading at 64. Let's take a look at Bitcoin again, see if Bitcoin is doing anything more positive. It was up over 700 points, so I'm looking to see where they're trading it now. And we'll put the contract up on the screen in a few seconds. There it is. Bitcoin is up $535 now. It's off about $165 from its highs. So we're just marching around there. That's all it is. Marching around. I guess what should we use as a title today? Oh, you want to see the NAS dollar? Sure. NAS dollar right there. It's been in a weekly buy since last week. Let's put that zero line in. Right there. It's been in the weekly buy from this area here. It's been in a daily buy since right there. That's the win. And it's still holding up pretty well. Let's see how far back. Okay, yeah, so it's no more than a few months ago in February. We were up around the is at the 66 area. Right now it's cruising along at the 64, 63, 63.70 area. So it can get going a little bit more on the work there, but it's in a buy, and a daily buy for was that 3, 6, 9 days, and a weekly buy for 2+ weeks. Since right there, or I guess this is the second week. That's what it is. So since this one right here, so there's the strength right there. How's that? Well. Anything else? It's just one of those days where it's quiet and we got done very, very quick. NAS dollar. I know we used to watch the NASCAD for oil. Let's take a look at the NASCAD again. Now, we used to compare oil to the NASCAD for a long time. Then it seemed to fall out of favor. They used to call that the loony trade. I know that the gold in Canada is loony, so people, they think that you're talking about the Canadian gold trade, but it was the NASCAD. And you can see as this rises, oil goes up, and then when this goes down, it's oil is usually going down. Let's see. Let's take a look at oil right there. There we are. So it topped out there on April 13th. Let's see what April 13th looks like here. April 13th is that one, I think? Nope. And here? Right there. So it sold off just for a few days and bottomed. So I guess maybe that's how we read this. I forget how we read this, but I know that it was correlated to the oil market for a long while. All right, what can we call this webinar today? What should we call this webinar? There we are. So we started off talking about the inflation. Started looking at the way that South African rand has been falling or losing value against gold. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll label it that today. We haven't given the South African rand a conversation in a while, so that'll help some of the traders that look at the South African rand, because they must be really frustrated. That's for sure. To be able to to see that that currency is not following what it has been doing for years. So there's the title. I'm going to put that in there right now. Title. And let's see, bang. Let's see, RAN. How about SRAN? SRAN. Let's see, South African rand loses against gold or something like that. Something like the rand, South African rand, gold outperforms. How's that? That sounds pretty good. I guess it should be the other way around, really. Gold outperforms South African rand. I think that's how we'll do that. That would make sense. Gold outperforms SRAN. There we go. And that's going to be the title today. And that's it. Unless anybody else wants to see anything, we'll get out of here. We got about 5 minutes before the market opens up here in the States. So, tomorrow's Thursday. We're already closing in on this week. So, happy trails to you until we meet again tomorrow. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Doc over and out.